anyway, if you have a type 6 in your life, you probably already know they're the ones double checking the locks, triple checking the flight itineraries and the flight statuses, and then wondering, what if the pilot gets food poisoning? So this episode is for all my 6s, all my non-6s who love a 6, and anyone who's ever rehearsed an emergency exit plan at lunch. So what are the core blueprints of our beautiful 6s? That's a difficult way to say that. You know what I mean? For me. So that's why I need to get this out there more and learn and get more 6s in my life. I want to learn more about you guys. So hit me up if you're one. But 6s are the loyalists or the loyal skeptics of the Enneagram. And that second word, skeptic, that's super important because it's not blind loyalty. It's loyalty with conditions, okay? It's like, I love you, I'll stick by you forever, but if you betray me, I've already imagined 17 different ways you might do it, so don't even fucking try me. So at their core, 6s are motivated by fear and the need for security, which obviously is their basic fear. It's to find security and support. So their super ego message says, you are good or okay if you do what is expected of you. Anyway, our 6s are the loyalists of the Enneagram because honestly, no one does commitment like them. They'll start Googling how to build a life raft out of the remains of the ship. Their loyalty stretches to people, causes, or even systems, because sometimes even to the idea that all systems are a little bit shady and should be challenged. They'll go harder for the people or their values than they will do for themselves, mostly. It's because underneath it's their basic fear, being abandoned without support, confidence. They doubt that they have the inner resources to face life solo. So they lean heavily on allies, structures, or just trusted beliefs. And if the right support system doesn't exist, what are they doing? They're going to start the group chat, set up the meeting, and make one from scratch, basically. They're going to figure it out. So quick rewind. You know how we entered the head thinking triad last week's episode, the type 5? Go back to the triad episode if you don't know what I'm talking about, and also the type 5 episode. The 6 sits smack dab in the middle of that head triad, which makes them the most tangled up in their own mind. Very complicated space we're about to find out. So they're the ones who are dealing with the most anxiety. They overthink, which just saying that sentence is exhausting. They second guess their own decisions, but also resist anyone making choices for them. It's like, don't tell me what to do, but also, please tell me what to do. Anyway, because 6s are always scanning for safety nets, they often feel like they can't move forward without proper backup. But if and when that backup crumbles, the panic mode kicks in. Someone, quick, hand me the emergency binder I definitely made for this exact scenario. So they want to know that they can trust people, systems, and then also themselves. That's why 6s often look outside of themselves for reassurance, like mentors, communities, partners, even like Google reviews, believe it or not. Their worldview is basically, the world is a dangerous place and I need to prepare for every possible scenario. It's like 6s are the ones who packs the snacks, an extra charger, and a mini first aid kit just for the 2-hour car ride. Like, chill out. But until a 6 learns to trust their own inner compass, they're basically a human ping pong ball, bouncing back and forth between whatever opinion, authority, or TikTok conspiracy that's hitting the hardest at the moment. This reactivity makes 6s one massive walking contradiction. Sorry, I had to do it. Like, the door was there, the joke was there. You do it. Okay? But it definitely applies to what we're talking about here. But the real snag is that they try to create safety outside of themselves without actually dealing with the insecurity that's on the inside, okay? But when a 6 starts facing their fears head on, everything changes. That's when 6s discover their real superpowers, being calm and courageous in all this chaos and finding peace within themselves, even when life refuses to hand them like a clear rule book. Like we'd all love that, right? So here's the paradox. While they crave safety, they're also some of the bravest people in the Enneagram because they're constantly facing down fear. May not be obvious. The sixes are the ones who will say, yeah, I'm terrified, but I'm still going to do it. Here are their superpowers. Okay. First, if you haven't figured this one out, loyalty. They ride or die doesn't even begin to cover it. All right. If a six decides you're in their circle, you could call them at 3 a.m. Second is preparedness. They've already scoped out the exits, checked the weather, downloaded the offline map for the hiking trip or whatever. And you can relax because they're basically your personal human seatbelt. And I've definitely have been in those conversations before. But it's funny until you realize that they've actually thought through how to like trap squirrels in a good way. Courage. Sixes don't get enough credit for this because it's just not so tangible and obvious with our vision. But they're anxious and also brave at the same time. Like anyone can be courageous when they're not afraid, right? But sixes, they walk into fear daily and still show up. And that's brave. Just because we can't see it, they're not lifting cars off of little children. Come on. So healthy sixes are like the marathon runners of the Enneagram. They've got insane endurance and get things done through slow, steady persistence. They won't catch them bragging like I just crushed this project in 3 days like a type 3 would do. But type 6s, they're the ones quietly grinding away, proving that success really is 10% inspiration and 90% perspiration. They obsess over details, organize resources like pros, and finish what they start. So because type 6s are naturally on guard, they have this uncanny radar spotting problems before they even blow up. They're the ones seeing the iceberg before the Titanic even like is close to it. I'm sorry, I had to say it. But in the real world, well, current times, in corporate life, this makes them absolutely priceless. So if you're a CEO or no one, you got to listen because you got to hire a six. They'll save your company millions just by catching mistakes early. They are so good at that. And they're also natural troubleshooters, the ultimate I told you so prevention plan. Okay. This is another reason why companies should invest in the Enneagram. Okay. That's all I'm going to say about that. So they also like to keep life running smoothly, which is why sixes pay their bills on time, renew insurance policies early, and probably have their dentist appointment set up for next year.